Well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to go back to sleep, but it isn't happening, so I figured I'd do my video. And I changed the title once again, and it's called Dealing with Negative Energy. Once again, I will delay the video about Anastasia that I had planned for a few days ago. Instead, I will talk about the energy roller coaster I was on yesterday. Not only did I get a lot of criticism for hiring an attorney, after listening to the video by Drake Bailey and David Wilcock, and I have my Drake Bailey instead of by, oh my goodness, and David Wilcock that had me flying high, I realized that it was nearly 2 years old. The changes I thought Drake was saying were imminent then still have not happened. That and other disappointment seemed to have the effect of pulling the rug out from under me. Oh dear. Let me save this. Anyway, I'm just not in the mood for the uplifting video about Anastasia that I had planned. And even though I read more in her book yesterday, as I said, I was derailed when I realized when someone on YouTube asked me for the link to the video about that by Drake and David Wilcock. And when I looked it up, the date, I saw that it was January 2 years ago. And I thought, oh my goodness, the changes aren't going to happen as quickly as I want. And then I had people writing me and telling me that it's going to be a long time yet to get ready and lose my house, or stop, fire the attorney and start standing on my own again like I did. I mean, I got a lot of criticism about the attorney, about having an attorney. And yet if I didn't hire the attorney, I would have had to be evicted yesterday. I mean, I imagine they would have been here to remove me from the house, and I have not had the opportunity yet to liquidate as much property as I can within the house. So that's a process that I did buy time for. But in any case, I had promised a friend that I would call her back shortly, and I was so derailed by the energy that it totally forgot my mind. And I mean, we're talking about a period of about 30 minutes. It just pulled the rug right out from under me, as I said in the blurb. And I had trouble trying to pull myself out of that depression and disappointment into a higher frame of mind, and it still seems to be going on this morning. I did watch a lot of videos yesterday, including 4+ hours of David Icke that was sent to me, but that he seemed to be again emphasizing all the problems, not solutions. And I understand the nature of the problems. I understand the nature of the brainwashing that's been going on humanity for a long time. Who's at fault for it? We all are to a degree, but there are some that, as I see it, are more at fault than others for being sucked in, and including the dark energies that creation, God, has allowed to play such a dominant role in human evolution. Why? Why are we that lazy that we have to be put in a vice, as it were, and have pressure put on us from all sides to even begin to evolve into a higher state of consciousness, when Anastasia says that was our created state? That's how God made us in the beginning, that we were recognizing who we were, and we were walking in communion with God. And even as late as 1,000 years ago in Russia, this was the case, but it all changed when they introduced the distortion of Christianity that had been finally got its teeth into Russia when they built all these Russian Orthodox churches and stuff like that with the gold. And I mean, it totally derailed the whole evolution of consciousness, and took even Russia, which became the Soviet Union, which became a bastion of not only darkness but of atheism, which of course is changing now since the perestroika. But nevertheless, it took Russia even into some of the darkest times of belief, with some of the horrendous leadership of Lenin and Stalin, especially Stalin. And when is it going to change for the whole world? But more pressing for me, so many people were telling me that I'm going to lose my house. And even my attorney said, prepare to lose your house. And that is a huge, huge blow for me if I were to end up homeless. I mean, my daughter, thank God, and her family have found a place to live. I guess the lease papers were signed. I printed them out for her last night. They were sent by the realtor. He decided to rent them the house, which is fairly close to me, about as far away as my son lives from me, which isn't far at all, and it's also about equidistant from where I live to the school, the elementary school, from where they live, although it's technically in a different school district. It's still very, very close. But in any case, I'm left homeless, and I asked my son if I could live with him, and he didn't even answer me. He never answered the question. Now, I realize, as he does, how different our lifestyles are. He's a night person. He's a person that stays up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes later than that, and sleeps till 10:30, 11, sometimes noon, before he even gets out of bed. I'm usually out of bed really, really, really early in the morning. I'm usually at the gym. If it's open, I'm at the gym before 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes before 4 o'clock in the morning. So different lifestyles could create a problem living under the same roof. I understand that, but I don't know where I'm going to live. And so I'm putting this video out, and stating on this video that I need people that are in my local community to help me at least find an interim place if the worst case scenario happens and I have to move at the beginning of January to where I don't know, but it needs to be somewhere preferably locally, and it would be nice if it was somewhere near where I live now, so that I can still help my daughter. She has the possibility of getting a job that she can still take her kids to school, but she can't pick them up, and she's going to need help getting them home from school, because if in fact she gets the job, and it looked promising to her yesterday, she went for the interview, but they did have a few more other people that were scheduled to be interviewed, and so I don't know the final result of that, whether she was notified later in the day or not. I sort of went into my cocoon and didn't have any dealing with her past mid to late afternoon. So I don't know if finally late in the day that she got word on the result of that interview, whether or not she has the job. But I'm facing a lot of demons in my mind and trying to figure everything out. And so I just didn't feel, as I said, that I was in the right frame of mind to do the video about Anastasia and about early man not being primitive, which was very uplifting, and I read more yesterday. But as I said, the rug got pulled out from under me, and emotionally, I just don't feel I'm in the place to deliver that video this morning. So once again, thank you for listening, and namaste.